Good morning. MTK on the MIC for Monday, December 25. But once the sun gets up, it's that desert climate where I am right now. So it's cool at night and can be very warm during the day. I wonder if that's what the whole planet is in some ways headed for when we talk about climate change. A lot of the places I've been traveling that are warm and hot, they're getting hotter, that's for sure. And as we talk about this giant Antarctic shelf that has broken off, and as we talk about icebergs that are melting and the volcano going off in Iceland, it is clear that the waters will be rising. A lot of my favorite places are by the coast, by the way. Of course, you know about San Francisco and Ocean Beach that I'm constantly happily dancing along and singing to you from. But India, where I was born, my birthplace, Madras Beach, one of my favorite places, really, that whole stretch from there to Pondicherry. After the tsunami, and that was this day, if you'll remember, in 2005, 18 years ago, that horrible tsunami that blew over Indonesia and all through the Indian Ocean and the South Pacific. You know, it pulled the water really far away from the coast, which was amazing, apparently, in South India, where I'm from. And it revealed all of these temples that were under the water that had not been discovered. And, in fact, the entirety of a stretch of stones has now been somewhat revealed between Tamil Nadu, my home state there, and Sri Lanka, the island, just like the mythology of the Ramayana says. If you don't know the Ramayana, the tale is that Hanuman, the monkey king, or prince rather, the prince of the armies of the monkeys, helped Rama and all of the monkey men, and they all created a pathway across using stones to go to Sri Lanka to rescue Rama's betrothed, his wife, rather, his beloved Sita, right? Well, now those stones are apparent from LiDAR imagery. So it's exciting to talk about ancient aliens, but it's moronic. The reality is there's a much better thing we could be doing, which is studying geology, archaeology, and history of the cultures that we're interested in. And we ought to be spending time doing that. More and more, I hope, in the future, people will turn away from these crazy programs that are making wild speculations with very little evidence about ancient aliens. I really don't think that that's a healthy use of our time. What it does is very similar to the way that white Western, say Americans, want to cover up the attempted genocide of the native peoples here, or the way that Israel is looking at the situation in Palestine right now. This is a series of centuries of war that we as a species have engaged on this planet. And we need to be done with war. When I tell you I'm a pacifist and that what I do is make things that are about pacifism, it's because I'm the grandchild of the Gandhi generation. My grandfather went to jail twice during the occupation of India by the United Kingdom, And kicking the British out was done through pacifist means. I mean, obviously there were economic means as well, the strikes and so on, and the satyagraha and the various things. But the point is they were pacifist mechanisms, and in order for those to work, a society has to be educated and compassionate. And it feels more and more like what we're doing is the digital generation is making everything so shallow that the compassion is disappearing. And the lack of education is also it's strange because now you can read about anything, you can study anything in your own home, in your pocket, with our phones. But without a guider, without a guidance, without someone to teach you, without a teacher, without an educator, then you are subject to the whims of a world of creativity that is just crazed, and not substantiated, not good science. So we have to spend time and energy thinking about this, I think. How are we going to educate ourselves better in the new year?